Okay, guys, we have got back-to-back race weekends. Last week we have the Austrian Grand Prix, which was kind of boring race. Talking about the Austrian Grand Prix, it was not that exciting race when we compare it with the other races because there was not much that exciting moments or that adrenaline rush moments. There was not much of it, except for Max and Lewis fight in the lap 20 to 30, which was good to see. It was like we went back all the way to 2021, where Max and Lewis was fighting. It got even exciting because of the drone shot. If you have seen the race, you should know it because of the drone shot was so brilliant. It was like the absolute cinema to watch that drone shots. And also in Red Bull Ring, we have seen the Red Bull Formula 1 team is back in the game. It was an absolute racing for the Red Bull team. Also, they have got the result of all their upgrades. For Austria, they have brought a lot of updates in the front wing, rear wing, side pods, and in short, they have brought a brand new car to the Austria, and they have got the result. The most important point of the upgrade is that they have reduced the weight. Earlier in the season, there was overweight, like 12 kilograms overweight than the Mercedes or the Ferraris. They were overweight. But now they are only 6 kilogram overweight. The reduction in the weight given that extra pace to the car. We have seen the pace of Max's car especially. So some of you may think that it is Max's fault that Red Bull is not performing well, or it is Max's fault he has crashed in multiple races. No, it's not. It's because of the car's issues. Car is unbalanced, overweight. It is the body to power ratio is unbalanced. A lot of issues with the Red Bull car. They have rectified most of the problems. See, we cannot say entirely that Red Bull is back in the game or they are ready for the title championship with Mercedes or Ferrari because they have done it in a single race only. If they do perform well in the British Grand Prix or the rest of the races, we could say that the Red Bull is back, or Max is going to hunt Russell and Kimi in the championship title, or we could say that. So let's hope best for the Red Bull. And let's talk about the Austrian Grand Prix winner George Russell. He have got the second win of the season after Australian Grand Prix, and yet another depressing race weekend for Ferrari. We have seen in Barcelona they have done an absolute genius work where they have outsmarted Mercedes in the strategies. We have seen what a brilliant strategy and brilliant race by the Ferrari team, especially Lewis. Lewis have done a great job and he have won the Barcelona Grand Prix. But in Austria, we went all the way back to the usual Ferrari. The clown memes and all the memes came back, and it was like the same situation as every time. So they have made the strategy mistakes. And in a moment while I was watching the race, I thought that what is Ferrari doing? Are they giving Lewis a 5-stop pit strategy? I was thinking like that. Now let's talk about the Ferrari's upgrades. So for Austrian Grand Prix, they have bought upgrades in the engine parts or performance parts or engine cooling parts. They have bought a lot of upgrades for the performance, and it is said that they will get a 15 HP extra power because of the upgrades. But in race or in qualifiers or anywhere, we couldn't see that pace, 15 HP extra power. We couldn't see that extra power in the car. It was like they are numb. In a certain point in the race, we will think like, is it the Ferrari we have seen in Barcelona? They have no pace. It seems like the upgrades only reduced Ferrari's power. And when we discuss about Ferrari's upgrades, we have to talk about Cadillac's upgrades for the Austrian Grand Prix. They have bought 11 major upgrades to Austria. They have brought upgrades to every part of the car. Aero, performance or reliability everywhere. They have brought the vast upgrade to Austria. But the funny part is they only lasted for 6 laps. Yeah, that 11 upgrades resulted them with a early exit from the race. But all the jokes apart, they are a brand new team. They are only developing. They are studying each situation in the racetracks or the type of racetracks. They are only getting adapted to it. Maybe they will get better in the rest of the races. It's like they are only learning to walk in the Formula 1. It's like they are toddlers. They are only learning to walk. So they have to understand everything, each aspect of the strategies or how teams adapt to different situations during the race or the different situations in the circuits, how to manage the stress, or they are learning everything. So they have to walk first before they could fly, right? So now let's just jump to the British Grand Prix. So I have done a video about the facts about British Grand Prix and about the track and all of that stuff. And as we all know, Britain is the home of Formula 1. So we all know British people have that developed or invented most of the major sports like football, cricket, or whatever, golf, badminton. So it's like the sports hub of the Europe. And we also know that the most of the drivers in the grid have their home races in the British Grand Prix, like Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Oliver Bearman, and Landon Norris. They all are having their home races in the Silverstone. And talking about Silverstone, it's a legendary circuit. A lot of historic events have happened in this circuit. And initially it was an British Air Force base. And even now, when we look at the aerial view of that circuit, we could see the runways and all. And all the corners of the Silverstone circuit is named after the aviation and the British landmarks during the World War II times. Turn 1 is called the Abbey. Turn 2 is the farm. Turn 3 is the village. Then the most iconic Cobbs, Maggots, Beckett's, and the most famous S-curves. And overall, the Silverstone circuit is a high-speed circuit. So that means it is not suitable of this generation of Formula 1 cars, because as we all know, this year the regulations have changed and now the power unit split is 50-50, and most of the time the cars need extra power from the battery to run through the straights. It is a high-speed circuit, and even in the corners the cars should need that extra power, which means there is less braking zones in the circuit. And earlier reports said that when Fernando Alonso and Max Verstappen run the simulation in the Silverstone, they found that the deployment is not good. They are not getting what they used to get in other circuits, like battery is numb, or the power is not harvested entirely, and there is a lot of issues while simulating. So when I talk about the battery recharging and harvesting and all of that stuff, I have to talk about how the 2026 regulation car works. So the cars in this regulation have a major change in the design, and the power unit section and the aero section is entirely changed. And when we talk about the power unit section, the battery recharges in 3 different ways. Alright. The first one is while braking. Alright. When a driver is in the race and he is going through a straight, there is an upcoming corner. And now what will he do? He approaches the corner and applies the brake. That is when the battery gets charged due to the kinetic force generated from braking. That's one way how the battery is charged. And the second way is lifting and ghosting. So let me tell you an example for lifting and ghosting. Imagine you are riding a bicycle and you have pedaled for a short distance, and you will gain a momentum, right? And now you decide to stop pedaling, and you will notice that cycle will move on because you have already achieved a momentum, right? And you will notice that cycle moves for a certain more distance without you pedaling it, right? It is because of the momentum you created during pedaling. And the time when you pedal the cycle, it is called lifting. It is same as driver accelerating the car. And the time when you stop pedaling and you are moving with the momentum you build when you have pedaled, it is called coasting. Alright, it is same as the moment when a driver releases his leg from the accelerator and the car is moving by the momentum created during accelerating. It is called lifting and coasting. Usually it is done to save energy, save battery or save the fuel or whatever. In 2026 regulation Formula 1 cars, drivers usually do it in the corners or in the high speed corners, not the hairpins or something like that, low speed corners. They do the lifting and coasting in the high speed corners where they need speed but not much, or they don't have to use that much brakes. They do the lifting and coasting in the high speed corners. And the problem of the Silverstone circuit is that these two methods of recharging the battery is not very suitable because it is a high-speed corner. You don't have much braking zones. There are corners, but it is generally the high-speed corners or the S-curves where you do not need much of braking. So that is the main concern of the teams and drivers. And now comes the third way to recharge the battery. That is super clipping. Super clipping is the technology is mostly used in our commercial cars. Most of our commercial cars is using this super clipping method. There is a method by which the battery is charged by the power generated from the engine itself, AC engine itself. Like when the driver is giving the full accelerator or he is in a straight mode, the engine is powering both the car and to recharge the battery. That is super clipping. So the only way in the Silverstone circuit to recharge the battery is super clipping. So that's it about the preview of the British Grand Prix and about the Austrian Grand Prix. And as of now, while I am shooting this video, the free practice section 1 is over, and we could see that Mercedes and Ferrari is the fastest. Like Kimi Antonelli is the fastest, and second is Lewis Hamilton, and third is Charles. So we could see that wind is moving on the Mercedes side. So I think they are going to build that momentum. So let's see, and comment down your thoughts on the British Grand Prix and your predictions for the British Grand Prix. So let's see in another video about the race analysis later. So bye.